Wasted World of Sports, ahoy! How are we doing this Saturday night? Saturday night, ready to roll. Roosters, Panthers coming up, but the big talking point right now, we've got 3.5 minutes left to go in this game that's currently rolling. The Brisbane Broncos have just survived an almighty scare that's been put up on by the Newcastle Knights. A try has just been confirmed for the Broncos with 3.5 minutes to go. And wouldn't you know it, once again, 2 games this afternoon that I've decided would be as boring as batshit have turned out to be quite exhilarating. And I probably should have been streaming both of them. But I looked at the draw and I went, how boring are these 2 games going to be? And they have both been scintillating. The Dragons putting it up, the premiership favourites, and I'm using very obvious air quotes, because what a load of bollocks that the Rabbitohs were ever premiership. Oh, Jesus Christ. Holy hell. What a joke that they were ever premiership favourites. And the Broncos, the next in line, apparently, for premiership favouritism, have just had it put up on by Newcastle here tonight, and they are going to escape with the win, it looks like. It looks like they are going to sneak out by the skin of their teeth. They've just gone ahead 24-20 with 2.5 minutes to go. But, of course, what we are waiting for is the match of the round, in my opinion. The match of the round coming up. Roosters versus Panthers. It should be a fantastic contest. We've got some players back in. Daniel Tupou is back in for the Roosters. Jamin Salmon, Luke Garner, and Sonny Luke all back in for the Panthers. Those are a few big ins, but they've also got a few big outs, don't they? Nathan Cleary, the biggest of all. That's Nathan Cleary's chin, by the way. He has an abnormally large chin. I mean, let's face it, we're just mucking around having a laugh. No one needs to get offended by it. But anyway, welcome along. Zo Plays, ahoy there. How are you? Vobsy, ahoy. Flash Blue, the Viking King, ahoy there, mate. How are you? We're all ready for a blockbuster contest. This is quite an important game, really, for the Roosters, isn't it? In all honesty, quite an important game coming up tonight for the Roosters. They're traditionally slow starters to the competition, but this is an unusually slow start this season, isn't it? Vobsy, you're a Roosters supporter. I feel like I'm on the money with that call. This is an unusually slow start for them. They are well and truly clicking into gear and firing by now. That said, we're only halfway through the competition. There's plenty of time to go. I still have the Roosters in my top 8 at the end of the year, and I'm sure that a lot of people do as well. Oh, that's great, So Plays. Fantastic to hear. But yes, under normal circumstances, the Roosters are fit and firing by now, for sure. Inside the last 30 seconds here at Suncorp Stadium, funnily enough. Who'd have thought? I was starting to wonder how the Broncos would survive with that whole week away from Suncorp that they had in the 2023 draw. And this will be the last play of the match. Do or die here for the Knights. And it's lost forward by the Broncos, and it was an offside. Surely they get away with the offside, and the Knights are going to get one last play at it if they can form the scrum. And they have formed the scrum. Newcastle are going to get one last play to make the entire competition happy as Larry and steal this game. Because everyone hates the Broncos. We know that. That's no secret. Seven seconds to go. Broncos up 24-20. This is the last play. Oh, they've overrun Hastings. They have all overrun Hastings. They had Shape out to the left, but they completely overran him. And now Ponga putting on some footwork. Now they've got a 3-on-1 with Cobbo. Run towards the line, boys. Go forward. Back to Phoenix Crossland, and he is swamped. And the Broncos, they've had the fear of God put up them tonight. It's a penalty, though. Penalty Newcastle. They were all offside. It's not over yet. It is not over yet. It's a penalty for inside the 10. Drama continues here at Suncorp. It is not over yet. So the Knights have one last shot at it. Can they steal this or send us to Golden Point at least? The Broncos mark up in defence over to the right. They go back to the left. It's charged down. They need to get in behind the line here. The Knights, Gagai. Racing up in defence here, the Bronx. Trying to shut this play down before they can get anything going. Oh, the kick is a terrible one from Gagai. Gagai's definitely got his Newcastle Knights jersey on. But what they needed right there was Honestly, if Gagai was playing for Queensland right there, he would have come up with a much better match-winning play. But the Newcastle Knights take a bow. They put on such a performance. Such a performance. 24 points to 20. And they have just fallen short. And that turned out to be a great contest. And this is good. The Broncos steal a win at Suncorp Stadium. So that's good. That's going to keep them talking about their premiership credentials that don't exist. So I'm all for that. The better they think they are, the easier it's going to be for whoever they come up against in the finals to dismiss them in straight sets if they finish in the top 4 or just bundled out in one. If, as I predict, they fall away towards the back end of the season and finish about 6th or 7th. So this is good. Keep on winning, Broncos, because you're just setting yourselves up for that inevitable failure, which has been the story of the past decade. So, all right, that game is now done and dusted. We are all ready to roll. Flash Blue says we have the bye in round 16 and round 20, Dan. Hang on. Aren't you the Raiders supporter?
Continue on, come up big players, and the Knights fell away slightly.
And you can see Reece Welsh and Kalen Ponga.
Yeah, Raiders. Okay. Raiders are doing extremely well this season, considering the start that they got off to. They kind of got pantsed by the Warriors this weekend, didn't they? But the Warriors have a history of that. See, this is the thing. Certain teams have bogey teams. We were talking about bogey teams the other week when it was the Sharks-Raiders game. Because the Raiders are a huge bogey team for the Sharks. I can't remember the last time the Sharks beat the Raiders. The Warriors are the Raiders' bogey team, isn't it? The Raiders just always seem to struggle against the Warriors, no matter how well each team is doing. If you look back over the history of Raiders versus Warriors games, it's not as bad as Sharks versus Raiders games, but Will, ahoy there, mate. How about those Broncos? Yeah, they nearly got beaten by the Wooden Spooners for this season at home at Suncorp. That's fabulous. That's good. They snuck away with a victory, so they're not going to think that anything's wrong when there clearly is. To only beat Newcastle by 4 points at home. This is fabulous. This is fabulous. Let's give the Broncos as much false hope as possible that they're going to end over a decade of failure. I look forward to seeing them get dumped out in the finals. Right here live on the Waste to Water Sports. We'll be covering all the action, I'm sure. Now, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the Raiders. The Raiders just struggle against the Warriors, don't they? Much like the Sharks struggle against the Raiders and the Broncos and the Warriors and Manly. Poor Sharks. We've got so many bogey teams. So many bogey teams. It's not funny. But anyways, the Broncos have snuck away with a victory here at Suncorp tonight. And we are ready for the main event. The main event of the evening. Sydney Roosters, Penrith Panthers. Coming up after this. The match of the round, it should be. Theoretically, it should be the match of the round. Yeah, every... Oh, okay, I misread that, Vobsy. Vobsy says every team is a bogey team for my chooks this year. The Roosters' bogey team would be the Dragons, wouldn't it? Is that right to say? The Dragons always seem to find another gear, even if they don't win. See, this is the thing. When you talk about a bogey team, you're not necessarily talking about winning versus losing. Teams that you struggle to win as comfortably as expected, even if you still get the win. Look at tonight. Tonight, for example, the Broncos, on form, should have beaten the Knights at home by at least 50 points. It's that simple. They will surely not be happy with a 4-point lucky victory with 2 minutes to go on the clock. Surely. I mean, I'm not an NRL coach. I'm not Kevy Walters. But if any of those Broncos players are satisfied after that performance that they dished up, they shouldn't be professional rugby players. That's all I'm saying. Dan Jam, sorry, mate. Anyways, I didn't... Oh, God, the Dolphins certainly won't be happy after yesterday. My God. That is the first time that we have really honestly seen the Dolphins get absolutely well and truly bollocksed. I mean, they were completely pantsed in public. That was, for the Dolphins, that was that nightmare where you're in front of a big crowd of people up on a podium in your underwear. That's what it was for the Dolphins this weekend. And that's the first time we've really seen it. What a great game we saw earlier. I don't know if there's any, apart from Dan Jam, I don't know if, well, I'm making assumptions about Dan Jam as well. I don't know if there's any other rugby union supporters in the chat room at the moment, but we saw a fantastic game earlier this afternoon. The Super Rugby quarterfinals are on. The Chiefs, they had to fight to the very end to get the win over the Queensland Reds. Brad Thorne's last appearance as coach for the Queensland Reds. It's ended in misery. The long drought of Super Rugby finals games played on New Zealand soil for Australian teams continue. They are now 0-15. 0-15 since Super Rugby's inception in 1996. 0 from 15 finals appearances for Australian teams on New Zealand soil. Not a single victory. And that's pretty telling, in my opinion, because the All Blacks have had the Bledisloe Cup for almost as long as I can remember. Vobsy says, is Brad Thorne the Fittler of Union? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, Vobsy. Absolutely not. It's complete and total opposite. Brad Thorne has taken the Queensland Reds from the absolute slums of Super Rugby, turned a bunch of nobodies, a bunch of no-name nobodies. He's the Paul Vaughton. There you go, Vobsy. He's the Fatty Vaughton of rugby. He took a bunch of nobodies from Queensland that everybody predicted would get the wooden spoon. He took them into the finals of Super Rugby. He built up a team, and they threatened. They won the Australian competition a few years back. I remember that. Absolutely not. Yeah, Brad Thorne is a much better coach than Freddie Fittler, but then, honestly, who isn't? James strikes back. Ahoy, mate. You're 5 from 5 so far in the tipping this weekend. Nice. If I had the courage to back myself a little bit more, I would have been doing better. I went for the Tigers. Okay, that didn't work out. That didn't work out too well at all. I had predicted at the top of the stream, do not be surprised if the Warriors spoil the Raiders' party. But I didn't have the confidence to actually back them. I also said, completely off stream, so you're just going to have to take my word for it. I actually said, don't be surprised if the Dragons spring an upset against the Rabbitohs this weekend. I also predicted the Knights. And look, the Knights came within 2 minutes of defeating the Broncos at Suncorp, no less. But it's okay, Vopsy. I have not tipped the Roosters tonight, so they should be safe. Dan Jam says, I kept forgetting about the Super Rugby. It's all over here in the north now. Oh, the Rugby Union, yeah, finished in the Northern Hemisphere. We must be getting excited about the World Cup. The Rugby World Cup coming up towards the end of the year. I look forward to that. It should be a good competition for the Northern Hemisphere teams. James has gone from 53rd on the ladder to 23rd. There you go. This is what I was talking about last night during the stream. I said a couple of perfect rounds for me in a row. I went from 50 or 60 odd up into the top 10. It's possible. It is not over yet for anybody. Christina Petrovsky. Ahoy there. Roosters, go for it. I've been 16 years support. 16 years supporting the Roosters, I'm assuming that means. What if you were a Broncos supporter for the past 16 years? Have you? When was the Broncos' last premiership? They're talking it up this year, though, aren't they? Oh, jeez. Obviously, Michelle, my often-time co-host, is a Broncos supporter. My God, they're a stubborn fan base, aren't they? Has anyone... honestly, have you ever chatted to a Broncos supporter? I mean, my God. Let's just say that they've got their grand final tickets all sorted out. Which is going to make it all the more hilarious when they get bundled out in September. But I digress. I mean, I was chatting to Michelle earlier on Facebook, and I said, wow, the Knights are playing like a top 4 team tonight. I mean, they are really stepping up. Credit where credit is due. Oh, it's just Ponga doing Ponga things like he does every once in a while. I'm like, you Broncos supporters are so stubborn, aren't you? Like, give credit where credit is due. Your team's getting pumped at the moment. They might come back and win. They might come back and steal it, but you've got to give credit to the Knights tonight, surely. They put the fear of God into the Broncos on their home turf, where they've played a majority of the games tonight. I mean, come on. I love all the teams I support as well, but if somebody that you know that you're expected to beat and beat comfortably puts up an effort and pushes you to the very brink, pushes you to 2.5 minutes of a loss, and it takes a fluky pass, a fluky backhanded pass that Ezra Mann pulled with 2.5 minutes to go to get you the win, credit where credit is due, I say. But anyways, it's hard to get any acknowledgement out of Broncos supporters. And don't even get me started when you bring up the Suncorp thing. The Broncos, I was worried that they might get homesick. They were away from Suncorp for a whole week there. A whole weekend they were away from Suncorp. That must have been so tough for them, but lucky for them, they were back tonight. And, they very nearly dropped the marbles tonight against the Knights. But anyway. And Dan Jam says, wouldn't surprise me if they put the grand final at Suncorp now. Well, they can't. The grand final has been booked into Sydney for at least the next 3 years, I believe. It can't be changed. I believe the contract is signed, sealed, and delivered. Sydney's locked in till at least 2026 for the grand final. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I understand what you're saying. And I hate to be that guy, but because you're probably sitting there now. Poor Dan Jam's probably sitting there now going, Jesus, I was just having a joke. I was just having a laugh, and he's gone and turned it all official. No, I totally understand. Yes, we're all having a laugh at the Broncos, but it is a fact that Sydney is locked and loaded for the grand finals for the next 3 years, I believe. Flash Blue says it's official. Queensland clean sweep and women's team. Whoa! Queenslander, take that, New South Wales. Fair enough. Dan Jam says, bit of both, really. Thought they hadn't decided yet. No, it's all contractual, Dan Jam. The stadiums need to be booked so far in advance now that I'm pretty sure Sydney is locked in for the next few years. James strikes back. So who do we pick for this one? I'm back in the Roosters. Look, I've stuck with the Panthers. The Panthers just have a production line, don't they? The Panthers just have a bloody production line. It's like a bunch of robots. James. Okay. Here's the deal, James, and I appreciate you asking me, but let's not time people out for no reason. I don't think being supportive of your team is a reason. And I also don't think making a ridiculous prediction like a Brisbane Broncos Canberra Raiders grand final is cause for a timeout either. Timeout is reserved for people that are being abusive, spamming, whatever else. I think we can just all sit back and laugh at that statement. We can all leave. We leave that there so that we can all laugh come September when neither the Broncos or the Raiders are anywhere near the grand final. But anyways, oh my God, this game has started. It snuck up on me. Flash Blue says, I'm a Queenslander, Dan. Really? Really? I had no idea. I honestly had no idea because it's really only Queenslanders that are predicting a clean sweep at the moment for Queensland. This game really snuck up on me. Well, there we go. Okay, so I've got a couple of bets going on tonight. I've got a 3-leg anytime try scorer multi. Sonny Taruva, Liam Martin, and James Tedesco are the 3 try scorers. And I've also got, well, it says 4 legs. It kind of is 4 legs. So just to explain that one a little bit more, I need the Panthers and the Roosters to score 1 or more tries. I don't care how many they score, but it needs to be at least 1. At least 1 try each half. So it is technically 4 legs. That's why I left it there as a 4-leg. I mean, it's really a 2-leg, but I need to hit 4 different targets there to get that one. So I've got the 3-leg anytime try scorer multi. Both teams to score 1 or more tries each half as the Panthers earn an early penalty here. 2 minutes gone, and the Panthers get the first penalty of the game. Vopsy says, if New South Wales lose this year, I'm going for Tasmania next year. Enjoy that. Enjoy the support of Tasmania. Panthers on the attack now. Full set of 6 inside the Roosters half. But what I was talking about, yeah, the Panthers might be without Nathan Cleary, but how good did Cogger do the other week? Is it Jack or Luke? Straight through goes Leota. Jack Cogger. And there he is. I mean, he's another. Sean O'Sullivan was a Nathan Cleary clone. And now Cogger's a clone. And Isaiah, he slips over his own feet. Big lurch, but he reaches out. Go, Gadget arms. Has he promoted the ball? We will need to have a look. Was he held at any point? We will need to have a look. Oh, but big lurch. He's fallen over. He's tripped over his own big goofy feet. But he somehow finds his way with those go, Gadget arms to get himself to the try line. And it's a dream start here for the Panthers. Moses Leota on the back of a bulldozing run. He's just gone straight through Luke Keary. And Sorensen sets it up with the offload to Kenny. And here Isaiah Yeo one-on-one with Lindsay Collins. Makes a complete fool of him, but then slips over. He trips over. Arms up. Okay, the elbows hit the ground there, but he's not held. He has full right to reach out, unless Luke Keary has got a fingernail on his bootlaces here. He has full right to reach out, and this is what we need to have a look at. Luke Keary just needs to have a toenail on the boots of Isaiah Yeo. Just a toenail. Any contact at all, this will be no try. So let's keep an eye on Keary. He's got hold of his boot. And this is a double movement. The try is going to be rubbed out. Luke Keary with a try saver here. That is a double movement promotion of the ball. Luke Keary, what a try saver. One of the smallest men on the field against one of the biggest guys on the paddock. What a try saver by Luke Keary. That's the rules. Look, I look at that situation and I say that was pure momentum taking big lurch over the line there. But them's the rules. He promoted the ball while there was contact with his body by Luke Keary. That is a fair call to the absolute letter of the law. And now a mistake from Waria Hargraves gives the ball straight back to the Panthers, and they will be fired up. They will not be happy with that call. Earlier, the try scrubbed out, but they've been presented a golden opportunity to go straight back on the attack. Oh, that's a loose carry into contact there from Waria Hargraves. What a jolly great goof. Indeed. And the Panthers, another full set of 6 inside Roosters territory. They fell just a little bit short on that last play. Luke Keary holding on to Isaiah Yeo's ankles for dear life. Was the only thing between a 6-point deficit. But inside the 20 now, the Panthers. Yeo out the back to Cogger. Inside to Liam Martin. There we go. That's one of my try scorers. That's what we need. Let's get them involved very heavily. Luai wearing the headgear tonight. Fifth and last Panthers, 2 meters out. Back to Cogger. He kicks crossfield. Oh, it's taken. Well, tell me that was not Lindsay Collins. It was Drew Hutchinson. Okay. It was not Lindsay Collins. That would have been funny if it was. Great take under pressure, and the Roosters survive. Oh, Liam Martin was up there. James says, would you say that to Hargreaves if you met him in a dark alley? Yes. As long as the alley's dark and he can't see my face and identify me, then yes, absolutely I would. And from behind as well, so that I can run away before he turns around. Ah, see, I'm a smart man. A coward, but a smart man. Roosters aren't looking convincing, Dan says, well, it's only been 6 minutes, mate. I think it's a bit early to... I mean, unless you're talking about all season, they haven't looked convincing so far all season. But in this game, it's only been 6 minutes. Oh, yeah, the Broncos were so convincing with their... By the way, I'm pretty sure Will, hang on. I might have got you mistaken with somebody else, but Will, aren't you a Sharkies supporter like myself? If I'm not mistaken, and apologies if I am mistaken, I do get people mistaken quite often, I must admit. But yeah, aren't you a fellow Sharkies supporter? Oh, okay, horribly mistaken. Who have I got you mistaken for then? Who has a similar name to Will that I'm mistaking him for? Oh, well, there you go. Because I was going to say, what's with the Broncos love? But if you're a Broncos fan and I've got you mixed up with somebody else, then that makes sense. Anyways, I don't think that the Rabbitohs or the Broncos have stamped any sort of premiership credentials this weekend. Let me put it that way. We'll see what's happening at the end of tonight, but I dare say that the Panthers are still the team to beat this season, in my opinion. And then Daylight second. But it's anybody guess. 6 again here for the Panthers. Roosters up a little bit too quickly there, inside the 10. And it's another golden opportunity here for Penrith. A full set of 6, 20 metres out. How long can the Roosters keep holding on here? Leota. Oh, Leota breaks through the first tackle again, and he's still going, the big man. Out to the left we go. Inside Poltatongo tries to beat 2. Lazy defenders on the inside. 5th and last. Kenny puts the kick through. It's going to be a result. It'll be a line dropout. They hold on again, the Roosters. Egan Butcher was back to dive on the grubber. Pressure, though, for the Roosters. Bartolo boys, ahoy there. A long dropout. Finally, a team with some common sense. The Roosters. And it's an awkward bounce for Leota. A long, traditional dropout. You love to see it. It makes so much more sense to me. I hate to keep going on about it every single live stream, but I really can't make sense of the short dropout. It makes sense in rugby union. It's low risk, low reward. But in rugby league, it's high risk, low reward. Why would you take the chance? But anyway, I digress. They're back on attack here, the Panthers. Sorensen keeps the ball alive. Sticks again. They're up too quick again inside the 10, the Roosters. And Luai sporting the headgear tonight. Putting on some footwork. Oh, they've got numbers out here to the right. Crichton will take on the line on his own. And he scores. He had to, because if he didn't score that try, he had an unmarked Brian To'o on the outside, refusing to pass the ball to him. And he would have looked quite the great goof. But Stephen Crichton goes on his own, takes on 2 defenders, and scores the try for the Panthers. 10.5 minutes of pure domination of territory and possession and attack. And finally they break. Oh, they had them skinned here. Daniel Tupou, the poor fella, had no chance there. No matter what he did, he was set up for failure. And Crichton is so lucky that he scored that try. Try confirmed. Graham Yamby, ahoy. Roosters go for first try. All right, let me know how that works out for you. I'm a big gambler, as we know. I love my multis. I'm so curious to know what first try is. Stephen Crichton scored the try. He has now got an opportunity to convert. He moves in. Oh, it's a terrible kick. Oh, that's a terrible kick. I could have done better than that. He is a cheeky fucker, isn't he, Will? That's what I love about him. That's why James and I are mates. Just a couple of cheeky buggers. Sticking the needle in. Giving it a little twist every now and then. Hamo boy, 685, ahoy there. Go Stephen Crichton. He needed to score that try. I really am starting to worry about Stephen Crichton's ball distribution. I really am. His ball distribution is really starting to concern me. He had Brian To'o unmarked on the outside. And we saw that a couple of times in Origin as well. Not in try-scoring opportunities, but in situations where they could have made a lot of yardage had he passed the ball. I'm actually really starting to get concerned about Stephen Crichton's ball distribution, especially at representative level. It's a little bit of a concern. It really is. 72% possession, 89% territory in favor of the Panthers early in this contest. Welcome along, Kelly Edwards. Oh, wow. I don't want to alarm anybody, but there's potentially a female in the chat room. This is unusual. And I've just scared her off. Anyway, Kelly Edwards says, another game given to Penrith by the refs. All these 6 again calls is a joke in favour of Penrith. Well, there's a pretty easy fix to that, Kelly. Don't be offside if you're defending. I mean, that's what all the 6 agains have been for so far. Roosters have been inside the 10 on defence. So it's a pretty simple fix. If you don't want the Panthers to get 6 again calls their way, stand back 10 metres on defence. Cashley's dad says, got Tedesco. Oh, there you go. A 6 again for the Roosters. Ruck infringement. A ruck infringement is a little less clear than an inside 10 call. So here is an opportunity now for the Roosters. Tackle 3, midfield. They're inside the 30. This is an opportunity to strike. 6 again's a 2-1. And they've got another one inside 10 this time, the Panthers. So, wow, that There's certain chat room comments that haven't aged well at the moment. It's 2-6 against all. And that one was for 6 for inside the 10. And now Tedesco runs to the outside. Tries to get away from Cogger. Cogger brings him down with the help of Crichton. 10 out from the line, though. Tackle 3, Roosters. And Warrior Hargraves taken down. 5 out from the line, midfield. To the left they go. Tedesco grubbers through on tackle 4. Edwards, Mr. Reliable, is there. He's running still. Edwards wants to get back in the field of play. But Tedesco is there to cut down his opposite number. And in the process is saying, you are not taking my New South Wales Blues jersey, mate. I like my New South Wales Blues jersey that barely fits me. As much as I love my Roosters jersey that barely fits me. But that's not the point. You're not taking it. Oh, that's a huge hit. Tongo lined up. Tedesco. And bundles him backwards. It wasn't a long dropout. It wasn't a short dropout. It was a terrible kick, really. But Tongo, talk about making chicken salad out of chicken shit. Tongo with a big hit, driving Tedesco backwards. Now Tupou on the outside of To'o. They line up in defence, though. The Panthers slide across and shut down the gap. But it's still on here for the Roosters. Tackle 4, 12 out from the line. They go to the right. Cleary spots a gap. Oh, it closes up quickly. Oh, it was on, though. I saw what he saw. He just didn't have the pace to get it. Manu shapes to kick. Goes out to Tedesco. Tedesco drops the ball. Oh, it was a terrible attempt at grubber by Tedesco. Taruva gets away from one. They're gone wide early here. Panthers. And To'o goes to ground, 20 out. Will says, I'd like to be an elevator. Okay. There's a comment that requires a little further explanation. Cogger puts it high. Hamo Boys 685 says Penrith is going to win, but the New South Wales, no less, the New South Wales is going to, in the following week, is going to what? They're going to what? Penrith is going to win, but the New South Wales is gonna in the following week. Oh, and losing the ball in the play of the ball here, the Roosters. Oh, it's scrappy. It is scrappy again for the Roosters. Vopsy says Teddy's bottom is more athletically sized compared to Edwards. It is. It absolutely is. 91% completion rate for the Panthers. It's been the story of the half so far. How are you doing anyways, Michelle? How's the heart? How's the heart after your supposed premiership favourites? I use air quotes. Premiership favourites. Your premiership favourites had the fear of God thrown up you by the potential future wooden spooners tonight. At Suncorp, no less. It must have been so hard, Michelle, for a Broncos supporter to spend a whole week away from Suncorp. But at least you were back home tonight. Back at Suncorp tonight. Nice and cozy, and nearly getting done by the wooden spooners this year. Fifth and last here, Panthers. On the 10, Cogger feeds Luai. Luai goes back to the right-hand side of the field. Skipping, dancing. Edwards with the kick. Across for To'o. To'o takes it, flicks it back in field. Nobody's there but Cleary. And Cleary dives on the loose ball, but it looks like it's been deemed to be out of play. Either way, it's Roosters' ball here. Angus Crichton getting ready to come onto the field. So, Michelle, are you going to be joining us for State of Origin Game 2? Because I've lined up the Brew and Crowley show to come and guest host, and our good mate Mick Brew has pretty much made a demand that you're part of it. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to do it anyway. But Mick was pretty adamant that Michelle better be there. It was one of his first messages. Was like, "Yeah, we're keen, but Michelle better be there." So, Wasted World of Sports collaborating with the Brewing Crowley show for State of Origin Game 2. Hang on, I've got to sneak out for a second. I've almost got myself a nice protective wall here for sneaking out. It's not quite there, though. It's halfway there. I'm still on camera.
Scott Sorensen, no surprise the outside backs of Penrith really starting to chuck up some numbers, aren't they? And they like footwork in these conditions here. And plenty of trouble causing the middle forward to the Roosters. Plenty of trouble through the middle. Supporting Sydney would have a nice warm afternoon. And the temperature drops quickly. We do get these conditions. Oh, she's down again.
All right, I'm back. The kick from the Roosters down to Taruva. So, just to catch up on where we are here. 18 minutes to go until halftime. Penrith leading 4-0. They have the ball 30 out from their own line. To'o tries to get on the outside. Can't get away from the tackle of Hutchinson there, I believe that was, in the number 18. Drew Hutchinson. Oh, Taruva looks a little bit rattled. He's one of my try scorers. I don't want that. I don't want any of my try scorers in HIA trouble. That wouldn't be good. Cogger puts the ball high. How's the chase? Is there pressure on Tupou? No, there is not. Oh, Tupou sporting a brand new beard. I can't help but notice. Tupou looks very different with a beard. He actually looks his age. You forget sometimes how, not old, but how much older than you expect Tupou is. Oh, fifth and last. The Roosters are caught here. It's scrappy at the back. Tedesco keeps it alive. They're still keeping it alive. Now Manu gets on the outside. Flick pass. And a miracle is incoming here for the Roosters. The kick back in field. How's the bounce? It bounces over the top of everybody. And To'o is back to wrap it up. And he runs it back now for the Panthers. And they've got to shut him down quickly. But my goodness, that was so scrappy. So scrappy. But somehow it worked out. And the Roosters have nearly come up with the try of the year. But for the bounce of the footy, Unbelievable. There, well, if someone's been pantsed, it's not Tedesco, so I won't get too excited about it. We've got to get Tedesco on for a guest spot sometime so that he can react to the athletically sized bum thing that will forever be folklore on the wasted world of sports. Panthers keeping it alive now. Tungo catches the offload. They're 20 out from the line. Luai runs to the line, puts the kick through. Was there a Panther taken out? No, says the referee. Yeah, catch you later, Michelle. Enjoy. Oh, geez, it's 8 o'clock. The cricket will be on. That's important. Loose here from the Roosters. Panthers get the ball back, 20 out from the line. Jeez, this is just not the Roosters we're used to seeing, is it? The 15 rounds into the competition and everything is just so scrappy. Loose ball. Roosters demoralising stuff. 5 out now, Panthers on tackle 3 in front of the post. They go to the right. Cogger to Edwards. Crichton cuts back inside. They're still 10 out. 6 again. They're inside the 10 metres again. Kelly won't be happy. Yo to Smith. Just to the left of the uprights now. 5 metres out. Penrith on the attack once again. Back to the right-hand side. Yo to Cogger. Out the back to Edwards. Finds Crichton. Crichton one-on-one. Gets on the outside of his man, but he's brought down. And Cleary's there to dive in as the second man to shut him down on tackle 3. But now they come back left. Midfield. Tackle 4 in front of the post. 10 out. They reset here, the Panthers. They stay left. Cogger. Out the back to Luai. Luai. Goose step. Goes on his own, and he is chopped down by Corey Allen. A great one-on-one tackle. 5th and last. Cogger, crossfield kick. The chase is through. They're all up. Oh, Drew Hutchinson. Once again, for the second time at least tonight, Hutchinson diffuses the high ball, and the Roosters survive. Once more, 13 minutes to go till the break. They are just holding on here, the Roosters. They're surviving. And what we saw from the Warriors-Raiders game, and here's a penalty, a relieving penalty at that for the Roosters. They will finally get themselves upfield and put an attacking opportunity on. I don't know what the penalty was for. The referee's doing some sort of interpretive dance in the background. Okay, holding down the penalty was for, apparently. I don't know why the referee decided that was the sign language for holding down, but he did. And up towards halfway they go. The Roosters, 41 times in this half, tackled in the opposition half for the Panthers. 11 to the Roosters. Keeping the ball alive. Cleary runs it to the line. Cleary's looking the most threatening at the moment of the Roosters players, to be honest. "20-metre line in sight." Oh, Manu gets all tangled up. Has to cut back in field. Nothing doing here for the Roosters. 11 and a half minutes to go until half-time. They're lined up here to the right. Oh, short ball. Crichton can't get through the 3-man tackle. 5th and last Roosters. They go to the blind side. Cleary puts the kick across. It's up. It's knocked backwards. Is it backwards off the Panthers? No. It's off the Roosters. And it's going to be a 20-minute restart here for the Panthers.
Instead, because unless Junior was shy, I'm sure he would have asked for a challenge there. He's captain, but Penrith with the extra tackle. Interesting to see how long Trent Robinson holds his nerve with this attack before he brings Sandon Smith into the action. Got to get Joey Manu back into his preferred centre position.
Panthers now up over halfway. Cogger runs it to the line, feeds it out the back. They're not missing Nathan Cleary at all, are they? Blindside play. Oh, they've got numbers here, the Panthers. On the blindside. They can't take advantage of it. To'o comes down with the ball. And Brian To'o, as if he hadn't had his kicking card taken away from him after last weekend, he tries again. And it is equally as embarrassing. Brian To'o, remove kicking duties immediately. Actually sit him down in the video room and say, you, my friend, are not allowed to kick the ball ever. Twice in a row now, 2 weekends in a row, Brian To'o has made a complete and total tit out of himself trying to kick the football on the 5th and last. Oh, we've got issues in back play here for the Roosters. Big issues as Tupou tries to skip around the outside. And he puts a foot on the touchline. And the Panthers will get the ball back again inside the Roosters half. But we've got big issues here. Who is that? Is that Junior Power? I don't know how to say his last name. I apologize. Junior Pauega? No, yes, it is. Junior is in trouble. Big trouble in back play. Panthers once more a full set and a penalty. Take the 2. Take the 2. Crusher tackle penalty. Take the 2. It's in range. It's right in front of the posts. I mean, it's a long way out. It's almost 40 meters out, but it's right in front. And you take the 2. They need something to show for all this early domination here, the Panthers. Nat Butcher on report for that tackle. Oh, they're not taking the 2. They're putting it into touch. And Luai has made all of 5 meters from that kick into touch. Terrible kick to touch there from Luai. But anyway, a full set of 6 here for the Panthers. 30 out from the line. They do have the advantage here. "20 meters out from the line. They are on tackle 2. Oh, that's a horrible play the ball, and that'll be Roosters' ball. That's a terrible play the ball. Awful. Moses Leota. No, it wasn't. It was Spencer Leniu. Spencer Leniu with the worst play the ball of the season. And he puts his hand up straight away and owns it. Puts the hand up straight away and owns that moment and says, sorry. Spencer Leniu already in a Roosters jersey. Yes, I love it. Christina Petrovsky, ahoy. How are you? Roosters scrum still trapped down their own half. But only 4 points behind. That is the key. That is the most important thing in this whole game. Penrith only 4 points ahead. That's the key here at the moment as Lodge takes it forward, gets the offload away. And the Roosters go up towards halfway. We do need the Roosters to score, of course. 6 minutes 50 to go. And I've got... both teams need a try each half, so I'm really hoping the Roosters can get something on the back end of this. 6.5 to go, 5th and last. They're 30 out. They go to the left. Manu puts the ball high. Pressure on To'o. Tupou's coming through. He taps the ball back, but he taps it straight back to Mitch Kenny. Oh, and they're offside here, the Panthers. It might not have been of Tupou. It might have gone forward from To'o into Kenny. Accidental offside. No, that's backwards off. That's backwards off Tupou to Kenny. But anyway, here we go. 6 minutes to go to keep my bet alive. Roosters need a try. Come on, Roosters. Let's keep the bet alive. To the right-hand side they go. Cleary feeds it out the back to... Who's number 3? Sorry. I need to learn names still. Corey Allen. 6 again. They're inside the 10. Who was that earlier in the chat room complaining after 10 minutes about the set restarts? Oh, that's a terrible play of the ball. What a let-off. What a let-off for the Panthers. Matt Lodge, his nightmare of a game continues. Matty Lodge. Shack of Hearts, ahoy, mate. Congratulations, Shack of Hearts, our stats man in the back, our man around the grounds. Congratulations on your new shiny blue spanner. Oh, that was very, very poor. Matt Lodge is having a nightmare. We need the Roosters to score. Oh, Liam Martin spots a gap and he goes straight through. He's still going, Martin, up over halfway. He's got support from Dylan Edwards, and this is going to be a Panthers try. Dylan Edwards will cruise around beside the sticks, and from absolutely nothing, but put it all back to the Matt Lodge era. Matt Lodge with the loose play the ball, giving the Panthers the ball back when the Roosters were on the attack. And Liam Martin has created the 2-on-1 and feeds Dylan Edwards to just run around untouched beside the posts for the Panthers. 8 points to 0, kick to come, but that try was all Liam Martin. He beats 2 defenders. Lazy from Angus Crichton, it must be said. Extremely lazy from Angus Crichton. I love Angus, but that was just horrible. And he's beaten 2 other defenders on the way to feeding Dylan Edwards. That was a great effort from Liam Martin there. He sees himself on the big screen. He's had a big sneaky look up at himself there. Dylan Edwards, the cheeky bugger. Panthers 8-0 kick to come. And Matt Lodge. He has really had a nightmare of a game, hasn't he? Shack of Hearts around the grounds. Super Rugby Pacific quarterfinal 2. Chiefs, of course, earlier defeated the Reds. A very valiant effort, it must be said. A valiant effort by Brad Thorne's Queensland Reds. Australian teams have never defeated New Zealand teams in Super Rugby finals. In 14 attempts, make it 15 now. The Reds just falling short there against the Chiefs earlier today. 29 points to 20. Excuse me. And the Crusaders, as expected, completely annihilating the Fijian Drua. Congratulations to the Fijian Drua, though, for making the finals in the first place. But 49 points to 8, they're just on a different planet, those two teams, as expected. Crusaders romping home. Kelly Edwards says, no Nathan Cleary, no worries. Cleary is overrated. I wouldn't say Cleary's overrated, but... Oh, as Luai now spots a gap, and the Panthers are through again. It's Edwards in support. He tries to pass it back, and Joey Manu bats it back and saves the day for the Roosters. They were looking likely again. Likely again there, the Panthers. 2 minutes for the Roosters to get over the line. They're not looking likely, though, are they? But the thing for the Panthers is they've just got a production line. Cleary was out injured last year. Enter Sean O'Sullivan. Sean O'Sullivan is a starting. He's proved that he is a starting number 7. He plays for the Dolphins. He's out injured at the moment, of course. 5th and last as the Roosters put the ball high. Tapped back by Tupou. It's still alive here for the Roosters. 6 again. 6 again, and they've passed it back. There were 6 tackles again, and it's going to be Panthers ball. Oh, it's off Penrith. It's off Penrith. It's a try saver. Oh, I thought it was on there. I thought the bet was still alive. Hutchinson throws it back in field. They're saying this is off Penrith. I don't think it was, but we'll take it. We'll take it because I want my bet to stay alive. 1 minute to go. 1 set of 6 here for the Roosters to keep my bet alive. This is the opportunity. A full set of 6. They're inside the... Oh, Cleary bobbles the ball. Keeps hold of it, though. Manu, short pass. It's tapped back by the Panthers and lost forward. It's going to be another chance here for the Roosters. They're going to have a couple of plays here to score the try and keep... what have we got? We don't have a captain's challenge, surely. Surely the Panthers aren't challenging this. We've got time off for something else, I'm certain. "30 seconds to go until the halftime break. We need the Roosters to score for that second multi. 10 points to 0 at the moment in favour of the Panthers. Here we go. To the right-hand side they go. Manu, out the back to Tedesco. Tedesco stops. Stop, start. Swarmed because they knew he wasn't going to pass the goddamn ball. The Panthers defenders just swarmed Teddy there because there was no threat of a pass. They knew exactly where to go and exactly what to do when they saw the ball go out the back to him. 9 seconds to go. Slowing down the play here. We'll get one shot at it. To the left they go. Cleary out the back to Manu. Manu dummies. Goes on his own. Manu is short of the line. It pops back and Crichton dives on it. Martin picks it up. The Panthers survive. There goes my bet. There goes my bet. The Panthers' defense is just rock solid. Manu dummies. Tries to go on his own. And the Panthers wrap up the loose ball. So there is done and dusted the 4-leg multi over on the right of screen. Well, maybe nobody likes the Panthers, but everybody goddamn hates the Broncos. 10 points to 0 at halftime. In favour of the Panthers. Oh, my right-hand side bet is gone. Gone skis. The left-hand one's not looking good either. 10 points to 0, though, at halftime in favour of the Penny Panthers. That was an intense first half. It really was. Points were hard to come by. Some moments of individual brilliance. Liam Martin there setting up that try for Dylan Edwards. Shack of Heart says some Super Rugby Pacific trivia. No Australian team has ever won a finals match in New Zealand in 28 years. Well, I kind of said that already. I didn't say the 28 years. I said that Australian teams are 0 from 15 now in finals on New Zealand soil. Shack of Hearts is not listening. The Broncos fill stadiums every week. Well, that's nice. How many premierships have they won? I mean, I think you can fill stadiums every week all you want, but how many have the Broncos won in the past decade? James has been cheeky again. Take that spinner off him for not listening, Dan. James, it's not even possible. If we go over to let's go over to the leaderboard. Let's go over to the leaderboard and oh, hey, Will, I'm not even arguing. If they give premierships for filling stadiums, then Broncos win every season. It's not really the point that I'm making here, mate. Full stadiums don't equate to victories on field, though, do they? All right. It's not even an issue anymore. Hamo Boy 685 says, ask Will to stop being a hater. He's not being a hater. He's just supporting his team. Yes, it does equate to popularity. Nobody's questioning the popularity of the Broncos in Brisbane or in Queensland. Much the same as it's ridiculous to question the popularity of Penrith at the foot of the mountain. Or to question the popularity of the Sharks in the Shire. Or to question the popularity of Newcastle in Crime Central. Sorry. I was born in Newcastle, so I'm allowed to make fun of it. But yes, of course, popularity in packed stadiums obviously don't equate to premierships. Now, what was I on about? Oh yeah, it doesn't matter anymore, James. You're actually above Shack of Hearts in the leaderboard, James. So there you go. James says, "Why am I always second?" Vobsy is just slightly more committed than you, mate. That's how it is. It's just how it is. Vobsy is just clearly that little bit more committed to the cause. He wants 3 in a row. He wants that 3 in a row. He's had 2 in a row. He wants that 3 in a row. Anyways, I need to have a quick break. So speaking of 2 in a row, let's throw it over to Fletch.
G'day, Vobsy. Well, ahoy, Vobsy. This is a message from myself, Fletch, and the Wasted World of Sports. Just to let you know, mate, you've won back-to-back VIP titles, another $100 gift card. You've got to go collect your first one, actually. So, $200. Anyway, mate, well done. Congratulations. And ahoy, the Vobsy. See you, brother.
Oh, God. Vobsy says, don't worry, James. It just means you have a life. Jesus Christ. What does that say to the guy that's streaming all these games in the first place? Awkward. Nah, well, actually, the fact that I do have life outside of this and have things to do does indeed mean I don't stream every single game. I wish I had the time. Honestly, I really do wish that I had the time to stream every single game. I really do, because this is fun. If I could honestly say this was my job, what a dream. What a dream that would be. But it's just not possible. I mean, honestly, I give a lot of credit to I give so much credit to the YouTube creators that find the time in amongst life and work and everything to be able to do every single game, every single weekend. I bow down to those people and give them major props. I have no intention of ever doing every single game every weekend. I pick the games that I'm interested in, that I want to do, and that's the ones that I do. And if I happen to be free the other times, I'll do those ones as well. But yeah, I give major respect and props to the content creators out there that do every single game and put that work in. I mean, it's an immense effort. So cheers to them. Oops. Half time here. Roosters versus Panthers. 10 points to nil. The right-hand side bet, Gonskis. Forget about it. Forget about that. So we're all focused on the left-hand side now. Oh, it is. I've done it a couple of times, Flossie. I've done it quite a few times, actually, where I've done almost every single game every weekend at least. Multiple games every weekend. It's incredibly draining. Like, it's different on nights that Michelle's here. It's okay because you can kind of balance yourself a little bit. If you've got a co-host or a group of co-hosts like we did at Origin Night, you can kind of balance yourself. Moments like right now, where my voice is clearly starting to go, I can just feed off to somebody else and take a back seat for a little bit. But yeah, when you're trying to do it solo for 7 or 8 games a weekend, it does get very tiring. It does. It really does. Flash Blue says it's official. Queensland clean sweep. Men and women's team. You said that earlier, Flash Blue. 2023 Grand Final, Brisbane Broncos versus Canberra Raiders. We'll see. We'll see. I still think the Broncos. I've done ladder predictions out the wazoo. I still have the Broncos. Broncos will finish about 5th or 6th at the end of the year. Just wait and see. Just wait and see. They've still got buys coming up, yes, but they also have a majority of their games away from Suncorp Stadium towards the back end of the year as well. So that's going to be very telling for them. I mean, let's face it, we're halfway through the competition and the Broncos have had, 2 games away from Queensland? They've only been out of Queensland for 2 weekends the whole season so far. It's going to be pretty telling the back half of the year. Yes, they still have 3 buys to come, but they've also got a lot of away games to come up at some point. So that'll be the true test for the Broncos. James says, did you say buys or pies? Oh, speaking of pies, okay, this actually makes sense, but it probably needs explaining. Pies eating fat. Beverly Hills Ninja. Was everyone here for the start in the countdown? Hang on, I'm going to quickly jump over to that screen. Do we remember? Do we remember the stream yesterday when that who was it? I can't remember. Someone was in the chat room and said, "You remind me of Chris Farley and Beverly Hills Ninja." So I couldn't help but do the Beverly Hills Ninja movie cover with me on it. Such good times. Such good times. All right, halftime here. I'm going to have a quick break. We'll be back for all the second half action. Wasted World of Sports, 10 points to 0 here in favour of the Panthers in a very rough and tumble contest, as you would expect, between 2 teams that are going to definitely be there at the back end of the season, unlike the Broncos. But I digress. Second half coming up. Wasted World of Sports. smell out there. Whoa. All right. West of World of Sports, welcome back. What have I lied about? I've no idea what I might have potentially lied about. James says, I wonder when Dan goes have a break, does Vobsy? Trying to catch up, are you? Trying to catch up, huh? Trying to take over on the leaderboard there. Teams are back out here for the second half. 10 points to nil. Hello, cheerleaders. All right. Sorry, that was creepy. Teams back out now for the second half. Exactly. Leave a little mystery, Dan Jam. I was wondering. I do need to. I would love to do like a behind the scenes at some stage of the studio, but I do agree with Dan Jam. It's good to leave a little bit of mystery behind the camera. What's really going on over there? What's really here in this environment? But anyway, both teams back out now. 10 points to nil in favor of the Panthers. And they get us back underway. Roosters, they're not out of this by a long shot. They had a really dismal first half performance, it must be said. Really, really was not good by any stretch of the imagination. And the Panthers threw everything at them. They only have a 10-point lead. They're still in it here, the Roosters. There is still cause for hope. Not a time at all for the Roosters to give up. Well and truly, game still on. Straight up over halfway, Lodge. He had a terrible first half. Oh, and his second half has not started any better. Lodge has lost the ball. He needs to be hooked immediately now. First half, maybe an aberration. But when your first carry in the second half is a knock-on, he needs to be hooked. Matt Lodge is having a goddamn nightmare. He really is. Matt Lodge needs to be hooked immediately. He is really not having a good game. I mean, you hate to see anybody just suck the air out of an entire stadium. These guys are professionals. They're a lot better than I am. But my God, Matt Lodge has just been awful tonight. Truly awful. And sometimes it's just not your night. And the coach is the one that needs to make that call and hook you from the field immediately. His first half was terrible. His second half has not started well at all. And that look on Trent Robinson's face, for those of you who can see the game, the look on Trent Robinson's face right there tells the story. It has not been Matt Lodge's night as Luai takes it to the line and feeds Sorensen. And it's the Panthers on the back of that Lodge mistake. Once again on the attack. 20 out from the line. Yo takes them on himself. Fifth and last. 10 metres out. Edwards, cut out pass to Crichton. Crichton steps in field, flicks it out the back to Martin. Martin passes back inside, but the Roosters are up quickly, and it's an intercept. And they get the ball back. They survive that one. Egan Butcher in position for the intercept, taking the ball away for the Roosters. They survive once again, and this is what I've been talking about all weekend. Credit where credit is due. The Roosters, they are stepping up and they are holding on here tonight. Just holding on by the skin of their teeth, but they are holding on, no less. Only 10 points behind. Manu puts it high. It's not very deep, but it's a... I can't say that without laughing. I apologize. But it was high, and Edwards comes down with it. Taruva with the hit up now. Tackle 3, Panthers already back up over halfway. Winning the territory battle again in the second half early here. 4 minutes gone. Luai, dummies, goes on his own, nearly gets through. But he is just chopped down. 40 out from the line now. Yo beats the first up tackle. 5th and last. 30 out, Panthers. Oh, terrible pass from dummy half, and that'll be offside and Roosters ball. Penalty. Terrible. Cogger just got a little bit mixed up there. Oh, Isaiah Yo's in trouble. Isaiah Yo is in trouble as well. This could be huge. This could be huge for Origin and the Panthers. He's back in defensive line. He's got back into the defensive line. But he was clearly hobbling there. Isaiah Yo. The Blues, the New South Wales Blues, the last thing they need is any more injuries, for Christ's sake. Jeez. Cleary's out. Latrell Mitchell is racing the clock. Cameron Murray's out. Api Coruscant's out. They can't handle all these injuries, the Blues. Cleary out the back to Manu. It was read well by the Panthers defense, and Manu is swamped and taken down. Tedesco, dummies, goes on his own, funnily enough. He really does have super glue on his hands at the moment, Tedesco. Cleary, 5th and last. High ball, crossfield, looking for Tupou. To'o takes it. A running jump for To'o. And it's a 20-meter restart for the Panthers. That was a great leap and a great take by Brian To'o. And a penalty now for the Panthers inside the 10. The Roosters have just been a little bit too enthusiastic all night tonight. They've been racing up in defense and all just a little bit too quickly. Penalty to the Panthers. This is a chance for players with a couple of niggles to get a look at. Oh, the Hurricanes game is on, isn't it? Yeah. Super Rugby Pacific. Hurricanes are playing Brumbies. Oh, wow. 25. The Brumbies in the lead at the moment. 25-21 in the quarterfinal there of Super Rugby. 48 minutes gone. Brumbies holding on to the lead. Jeez, that would be a turn up. That's obviously in Canberra. Brumbies winning a home final. But the Panthers on the attack here. 10 out. Cogger, dummies, goes on his own. He's 5 meters out when he's cut down. Tackle 4. Quick play the ball, Isaiah Yo. Big lurch again. Oh, he's so close. He's claiming the try. It's going up as a try. But my God, this could be called back as well. This could be called back as well. We need to have a look at it. Isaiah Yo, he was denied in the first half. How has he come up with this one? Lodge racing up, picking the wrong man. Oh, is he there? Is he there or is he just short? It's gone up as a try. That looks short from that angle. It looks short from that angle. It's gone up as a try, though, so that's going to be hard to overturn. We might have a little bit of a look at it, though. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a look at it. Oh, try's been confirmed, apparently. $14 points to nil, Panthers. Crichton from right beside the post. Over it goes, 16-0, Panthers. I thought that was worth a look, at least. Let's say, oh, here we go, side on. Okay, it's there. Side on, it's there. That side on angle was very telling. The side on shot there was very telling, and that's probably the one that the bunker saw before any other angle. The bunker obviously has access to a lot of angles that we don't as TV viewers. And what the hell's going on there on the sideline? For 16-0. 16-0. Panthers. Donuts at the moment for the Roosters. My try-scoring multi's not looking very good. Oh, it's not a good one. Please don't give the Sharks any credit. We don't deserve it. Sharks versus Storm tomorrow. Storm are going to win by about 30 points, I reckon. Oh, straight through goes Sorensen. Lazy defense from the Roosters. Where's his support? He's got no one in support. Oh, that was so lazy by the Roosters. What is going on with them? Now they've got numbers to the right. Martin to Crichton. They're up on Crichton quickly. 6 again. Inside the 10 metres they were. They were under the pump there, the Roosters. They had to give away the 6 again, or it was try time. A full set again. The Panthers have just been meticulous here tonight. The points have not been free-flowing, but they've just been patient, willing, stamping their premiership authority, really, like the Broncos and the Rabbitohs failed to do this weekend. Cogger running back inside, settling play up in front of the posts. To the left they go. Yo, inside to Luai. Luai scampering around. To Edwards, to Crichton, to To'o, to the try line. And it's another try for the Panthers. 20 points to nil. Brian To'o.
Again, only a month ago against the Roosters was brilliant. Tonight's been an enormous threat, changing direction and cutting hard.
20 points to nil. The Panthers, they've been patient, meticulous. They've got a game plan. They're working towards it. There is no panic in this squad at all. No Nathan Cleary. It doesn't matter. They've got this production line of halfbacks. This reminds me a lot of the All Blacks. The Panthers at the moment remind me a lot of the All Blacks. Every time Dan Carter used to fall over injured, and he used to fall over injured a lot, but every single time Dan Carter would fall over injured and all the press would come out and be like, that's the end of the All Blacks. Aaron Cruden steps up. Aaron Cruden gets injured. Oh, we've got a veteran in Stephen Donald. Stephen Donald steps up and wins the 2011 Rugby World Cup. Now what's going to happen? All these players have retired. Enter Bowden Barrett, Lima Sopawanga. It's just a production line of halfbacks here at the foot of the mountain. The Panthers. Cleary's out injured. Sean O'Sullivan. Sean O'Sullivan gets a contract for the Dolphins. The Panthers' backup halfback is gone. What's going to happen if Cleary gets injured in 2023? Cleary gets injured in 2023. Jack Cogger. Enter the scene. It's like Cleary's not even there. Well, he's not there. You know what I mean. He's actually not there. But you know what I mean. They're not missing him at all. It's like he is still there. It's a production line here at Penrith. They've created a factory, a robotic factory of halfbacks. 22 points to 0. 28 minutes to go. The Panthers have put on a clinic tonight, really. It hasn't been easy for them at times. The points have not been free-flowing. But they have put on an absolute clinic, stamping their premiership credentials. Forget about everybody else. It is the Panthers and then daylight. Enjoy your Suncorp Stadium riddled minor premiership Broncos. But this is the Panthers premiership to lose as Taruva goes straight through. He's got Tungo in support. And Isaac Tungo will score another try. And it's all starting to click now for the Panthers. 26 points to 0. The kick to come. Oh, the premiership favourites. Hands down, Panthers and then daylight. I've been saying it since round 1. It's taken until round 15. But surely we can all just stop with this nonsense about the Rabbitohs and the Broncos now. The Panthers, without their star halfback, showing how it's done. Shut the hell up about the wannabe Rabbitohs and the Broncos, home ground bullies. Remember, Broncos supporters, you've got to win away from Suncorp if you want to win a premiership. And the Panthers are leading the way at the moment. Panthers, top of the ladder. Daylight second. Forget about everybody else. They're looking for the three-peat, and honestly, it should be looking for 4 in a row if Cameron Smith weren't retiring a few years ago. Around the grounds with the Shack of Hearts, Super Rugby Pacific, a penalty goal for the Hurricanes sees them jump into the lead by 1 point in Canberra. 25 Brumbies, 26 Hurricanes. How long left there in that game, Shack of Hearts? How long have we got left over there? What's that, 57 minutes? Yeah, so still plenty of time left in that one. 23 minutes to go. Super Rugby Pacific quarterfinal. 26-25 Hurricanes have just jumped into the lead on the back of a penalty goal. 26 minutes left in this game. 28 points the difference. The Roosters being kept to donuts at the moment. Nathan Cleary, they just said it on the TV, Nathan Cleary out injured. The Panthers are 13 wins from 16 matches with Nathan Cleary out injured. Honestly, who cares at this point if the chin gets broken? 13 wins out of 16 appearances with Nathan Cleary out. It just says it's all about the team. It's all about the team, not the man. They are not a one-man team here, these Penrith Panthers. 13 from 16 with Nathan Cleary out injured over the past 2 seasons is very, very telling. It's a production line. It's a factory there at the foot of the mountain. 28 points to 0. 25 minutes to go. So all Panthers, they are just swarming the Roosters here in defense. They're all over them. I would blame Matt Lodge as well, Vobsy, in all honesty. Matt Lodge has pretty much made an error every single time he got the ball from memory. Oh, now here we go. Keary on the outside of Luai. Flicks it back in field to Junior. No one in support. And here's an opportunity. He did. Matt Lodge really set the tone for the second half. And now we've got another mistake here from the Roosters. We've got another mistake now from the Roosters. It is just not happening. It is just not happening for them. The Roosters can't win a trick at the moment. This is incredible. Not good at all. You've got to feel sorry for the Roosters at the moment. You really do. $28 points to 0. Panthers ball again. The mistakes, uncharacteristic mistakes of the Roosters traditionally. Panthers with the ball back again once more on the attack. Still 23 minutes to go in this one. There is still plenty of damage left to be done for the Panthers. Still going. Isaiah, yo. Great post-contact meters. Great leg drive. Fifth and last, Panthers. Back to Cogger. They're offside there on the left, I would have thought. Tap back by Tungo. Out to Taruva. Taruva's got nowhere to go and he's shut down. Super Rugby Pacific, the Hurricanes have just blown the Super Rugby quarterfinal out of the water. 33 points to 25. Hurricanes. This will be it for the Australian teams in Super Rugby. Well, it's looking more and more likely for an all-New Zealand final as Tupou finds some space. Can't break through, though. They're up over halfway. The Roosters. Can they come away with something? Cleary puts it high. How's the kick chase? No pressure on Edwards at all. Edwards takes it, and he passes out to Taruva. Taruva shrugs away from one. Finds space up the middle. And great kick return there from the Panthers. Vopsy says Chooks have got the Knights next week, and the Knights, a resurgent performance from them tonight. They probably deserved to win. I mean, more ass than class from the Broncos to steal that one at the end. Very undeserving win tonight at Suncorp for the Broncos, it must be said. But that's good. The more undeserving wins that they get, the better it is, because they're going to think they're suddenly premiership favourites. So, good. Oh, I'm sorry, James. It's a very fast-moving chat room tonight. What have I missed? What have I missed that you've said? 3 times the Roosters have been kept to 0 in a game. Twice to Manly and once to Souths. Who cares about Souths? I don't want to hear about Souths ever in the chat room. Penalty here for the Roosters. Oh, the Brumbies have scored a try. They're back into it here. Super Rugby Pacific quarterfinal is not over yet. The Brumbies have scored a try. There is still plenty of time. There's still 16 minutes to go. The quarterfinal there. The Brumbies, the home team. Conversion to come, presumably. The Brumbies back in it. Sounds like a much closer contest than this one. The Panthers have just been so robot-like, so methodical in putting away the Roosters here tonight. I was amped up for this game. I really was. Oh, here goes Tedesco now. Dummies. Goes on his own, Tedesco. Tedesco scores! He beats 4 defenders and scores the try. James Tedesco finally gives me a tick on my multi. 28 points to 4. Kick to come. James Tedesco There wasn't even a threat of passing the ball. He's still got that super glue on his hands from Origin time, but it's worked out here. 1 defender beaten, 2 defender beaten, 3, 4 defenders beaten. Dylan Edwards, Moses Leota, 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders beaten. Count them up. James Tedesco scores a try at last for the Roosters. Conversion unsuccessful for the Brumbies. 16 or so minutes to go there. Super Rugby Pacific quarterfinal. 33 points to 30. The Hurricanes. Defense has certainly apparently not been the name of the game over there in Super Rugby. 18 minutes to go. Luke Carey is taking the kicking. There you go. And he puts it straight down the middle. 28 points to 6. And here come the Roosters. Hey, we saw it from the Rabbitohs. We saw it from the Premiership favourites earlier today when they scored 3 tries in 3 minutes against the Dragons when the Dragons went to sleep. Roosters are still in this. Panthers could honestly be asleep right now. Back underway we go. Threatening the sideline with the kickoff there. The Panthers, but the Roosters come away with it. I'm doing well tonight, James. I'm doing extremely well. But mind you, I've only had one game to get through. The spillage is usually when I've got a few games to try and get through. And I just get more and more impacted, shall we say. More and more impacted by substances as the night wears on. I've only done one game tonight, so impact hasn't been that great. 5th and last here, Roosters back in Panthers territory. Carey puts it high. No pressure at all on Dylan Edwards, and he can bring it back for the Panthers, leading 28 points to 6 and looking very, very cozy indeed with 17 minutes to go. We'll see how I go. I reckon all my spillages will happen on Intoxigamer later tonight. Intoxigamer.com stream coming up later tonight after this game. And yeah, I should imagine there'll be a fair few spillages coming up in that one later on once I start to get impacted. Leota crashing up over halfway, or just shy of it. 5th and last, Panthers. Back to Cogger. Cogger even looks like Nathan Cleary from afar, just like Sean O'Sullivan did. It's ridiculous the amount of talent they've got there at the foot of the mountain. I haven't figured it out yet, James, to be perfectly honest. I know that Heel Fries made a suggestion last week. I might have a look at that. But yeah, otherwise, I really don't know. I'll figure it out when I get to it, basically. Draw and a pass and a forward pass. A forward pass from Hutchinson. Exactly, Popsy. That's what I was thinking. That is exactly what I was thinking. I'm actually going to do an Intoxigamer stream, and Heel Fries is not here. He's going to be so pissed. He's not going to be a happy chappy at all. I don't do it on purpose, I swear. Ugh. 15 minutes left in this game. 28 points to 6. Panthers, they are attacking in Roosters territory once again.
Seven, nice and fresh. Well handled. Gets up eventually. Cogger. Cleary up quickly.
Oh, great defense from the Roosters. A little bit late, though, for good defense. Zach Kemp, ahoy. If Taruva scores, you're in 2-5. Oh, great crunch in defense there on Jamin Salmon. Oh, the referee's nearly been wiped out. Oh, he's not happy, the ref. Oh, look at how pissed off the referee is right now. Oh, this is fabulous. The referee has been bumped from behind, and he can't understand what's just happened. He looks so annoyed. That is brilliant. Warrior Hargraves has bumped Jerome Luai into the referee, and the referee is pissed. Oh, he is so not happy about that. Oh, that's fabulous. That's the best thing I've seen all game, is referee Adam G getting so frustrated. Oh, no. Oh, no. Liam Martin's down. Liam Martin's busted open. Oh, no. This is big. This is big for Origin. This is big for the Panthers. Liam Martin has copped a head knock. That is a huge, huge bump from Warrior Hargraves. Super Rugby Pacific, the Brumbies have stolen the lead with 9 minutes to go. Tom Wright has scored 35-33. Our around the grounds with Shack of Hearts, 35-33. Kick to come. Brumbies have stolen the lead. Super Rugby Pacific keeping Australian hopes alive from another year of New Zealand domination. The Brumbies keeping it alive for Australia. Liam Martin has gone off for a HIA. 13 and a half minutes to go in this game. 28-6 Panthers lead quite comfortably, but Liam Martin is the big story here. Liam Martin off for a HIA, and it'll be interesting to see what comes of that. 11 days away from Origin. 11 days away from State of Origin number 2, and Liam Martin, one of the best players of Game 1, off for a HIA. That could be huge. The Blues are already decimated with injuries. The last thing they need are HIA stand-downs. Fifth and last, the Roosters, they're running it. Manu puts the kick in over the top. It falls for... Oh, no, it doesn't. It falls for the Panthers. And Dylan Edwards breaks away from the first up tackle. He's taken down by Manu and Warrior Hargraves. Mr. Reliable, Dylan Edwards, there to clean up the loose pill. So we're cheering on for Zach Kemp. We're cheering on Sonny Taruva to get a try in these last 12 and a half minutes. It's very interesting that nobody's really talking about the cricket in the chat room. That's funny. See, Michelle left to go watch the cricket. I just find it funny how little of a bollocks anyone gives about the cricket. Tackle 3 here for the Panthers. 10 out from the Roosters line. Looking for another try. Looking for more points. Leota looking for the offload. Pops it back. And now it falls for the Roosters. They get the ball back. Terrible offload from Moses Leota. Okay, Liam Martin. Okay, Liam Martin has failed his HIA. Category 1. He's on an 11-day stand down. 11 days from now is going to be State of Origin. Liam Martin could have just been knocked out, literally, of State of Origin number 2. He is on a mandatory 11-day stand down at the moment. The only way that Liam Martin plays Origin 2 is if they can test that ruling of, big run from Waria Hargraves. He's just bumped off. He has just bumped off Leota. Oh, Leota is busted open. Moses Leota is busted open. Waria Hargraves has put the bumpers up, Tino style. Waria Hargraves has popped the elbows out. No, he hasn't. He actually hasn't. To be fair, to be totally fair to Waria Hargraves, he has actually done nothing wrong here. He has done nothing wrong there, and Moses Leota's copped a clip. Moses Leota is completely busted open, and I feel sorry for Waria Hargraves here because he's got a reputation, but that was completely not his fault. It's heating up there out on the field, but there was nothing in that. Tino's was much worse. Tino for Asamoah was way worse. There was absolutely nothing in that at all, in my opinion. Moses Leota is off for a HIA, obviously, and there was nothing in that. Let's just move on with it. James says, I love cricket, but I love you more, Dan. Oh, thank you. Hey, James, I was actually... it's the Roosters. Fifth and last here. Expansive play out to the right. Awkward bounce for Edwards, but he recovers the ball. James, I'm actually considering doing a video for the Ashes. I want to do a video for the Ashes. All right. I'm showing my age here, but... Chat room, does anyone remember Graham Gooch's cricket / Alan Border cricket, the old PC game? I'm going to do an Ashes preview, much the same way that I did a State of Origin preview with that Rugby League Legends iPhone game. I want to do an Ashes preview with the old Graham Gooch / Alan Border cricket on Commodore 64. Commodore 64. I told you I'm showing my age. Commodore bloody 64. It's going to be fun. Kids these days don't even know what the fuck a Commodore 64 is, let alone have seen games for it. I'm here to educate. I've decided that that's my purpose in life, is to educate. How cool stuff was back in the day. Forget about your awesome graphics and whatnot. Nothing can beat Graham Gooch's cricket on Commodore 64. And then the big upgrade. This was the funny thing. The big upgrade from Graham Gooch's cricket on Commodore 64 to Alan Border's cricket when it got released, the huge upgrade was you can now change the color of the uniforms on the players. It was so good. That was the big upgrade. It's like a brand new game. Alan Border's cricket instead of Graham Gooch's cricket. You can change the colors of the uniform. It was the exact same game, but you can now change the color of the uniform. Dan Jam says we had a Specky, not a 64. James says, I remember saving up my pocket money to buy that game at Game Wizard. Remember Game Wizards? That rings a bell. Game Wizards was like one of the big game stores, like EB. They were the EB games of back in our day. Fifth and last here, Panthers. This game is just sort of going through a... we've only got a couple of minutes left in Super Rugby Pacific. 37-33, the Brumbies. The Brumbies are keeping the Australian teams alive. at the moment. Oh, another mistake now from the Roosters. Panthers are going to get last say here in this game. It's looking like. Oh, bring it back. Bring back the Biff. Bring back the Biff. I've actually seriously thought on Wasted Water Sports I should do a because it doesn't exist anymore, you know. So what I'm saying is I should do like a Reg Reagan type character, and I should go out in costume, the Wasted Water Sports incarnation of Reggie Reagan. I should go out and about on the streets of Queensland and run amok for the Wasted Water Sports here. A good little video package or two to run in between games. That's what I'm thinking I should do. I feel like I'm the man for the job. Seven minutes to go in this one. Both teams are completely fired up. I actually didn't see what happened. I popped off for a little break, and I didn't see what happened, but Vobsy says theoretically the Roosters will beat the Panthers next time they play each other because last time we played we lost by 40. This time we lost by 22, so next time we lose by 10 or win. Oh, he's still fired up. He's been sent to the bin, Spencer Leniu, but he is still firing up. Ten in the bin for Spencer Leniu. I still don't know what happened. I was gone. Dan Jam says, better take two bandanas, one for a disguise. Jared Warrior-Hargraves is off for 10 as well. All right, hang on. I was told to never wear this bandana again. I was told to never wear this bandana again because it in the lights, it practically matches my skin color. So I look like I'm bald. But if I put it slightly lower down, I'm going for the two bandanas to make it a disguise. Okay, now I look like I'm in a medical ward. All right, forget about it. Never mind. I have no idea what just happened. What happened there? There was a huge blow up. That was a massive blow up between Spencer Leniu and Warrior-Hargraves. We've ended up with Spencer and Jared both in the sin bin for the rest of the game. But I really don't know what happened there. Did he throw water over him? Was that it? Did he tip water over him? Oh, okay. You meant, yeah, okay. One color and then change. Kind of like that guy on There's a guy on Facebook. I've seen the videos pop up in my feed on Facebook. The guy that does he puts buckets over people's heads in the store, and he's wearing a jacket, and then he runs off into the other aisle and takes the jacket off and hides it and comes back. It's like, it's the same guy. He just took his jacket off. Oh, Spencer Lenu, look at those eyes. Do you want those eyes coming at you in the dark alley? Even Jared Warrior-Hargraves has to look away. He's like, I don't want to see those psychotic demon eyes peering at me. Tapped back here for the Roosters. 30 points to 6 it is in favour of the Panthers. UFC 289 tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for those of you who are into UFC. Brumbies holding on to a 4-point lead in Super Rugby Pacific. We are into injury time. Well into injury time, if the game is even still going. It says it's still going for me, but it might not be. Tackle for... Oh, big bulldozing run here for the Roosters. 10 metres out from the line. Still going. Tupanua, great run. Fifth and last. They're 2 out. Cleary, short ball. And it's a loose ball. And it's now Panthers ball. And it has just not happened. Again, it has just not happened tonight for the Roosters. This has been a very unusual season for them. It is just not clicking for the Sydney Roosters. We are not used to this at all. Three and a half minutes to go. The Panthers have won this game quite comfortably. The big story, though, is Liam Martin. Liam Martin on an 11-day stand down. 11 days is Origin. Is he going to be eligible to play? That is the big story here. He was one of New South Wales' best on the night. Brumbies win, huh? Brumbies have won Super Rugby Pacific. The Hurricanes, it sounds like the Hurricanes threw absolutely everything at them at the end there. But the Brumbies have held on at home to win 37-33. And they have earned the right to go on and lose to a New Zealand team in the semi-finals. So congratulations to them. But hey, at least they got there, right? At least they got there. Tupanua, another huge run. He has been immaculate the past 10 minutes or so, Tupanua. But it's all too late for the Roosters. Tedesco. Manu, back to Tedesco. Fires it back in field. Collins, 20 out from the line. Fifth and last here for the Roosters. 2 minutes to go. Cleary out the back to Tedesco. Tedesco dummies and goes on his own. Pops it back to Tupanua, who loses the ball forward. And it'll be Panthers ball. Oh, wait. Knocked on by Panthers. It'll be Roosters ball. They're challenging the call here, the Panthers. Why not? Why not, indeed? Well, Sonny Luke has missed that entirely. Okay, here we go. Tupanua picks it up. Knocked down by Sonny Luke. Yes, that's a knock on Panthers. Roosters ball. Who cares? 30 points to 6. Who cares at this point? Let's just get on with the game. Let's just get this last minute and a half gone. Unsuccessful. Funny that. Roosters will get last say in this game. 1 minute 40 to go. It's going to be Roosters ball inside the Panthers 10. 30 points to 6. Oh, I needed Taruva as well. And Liam Martin, but not to worry. Liam Martin, of course, now. Liam Martin off foul in his HIA is on an 11-day mandatory stand down. He is in danger for State of Origin number 2. Cleary puts the kick through into the in-goal. Dylan Edwards just shields it over the dead ball line. And we've got a penalty here for the Roosters. Panthers offside. They will still get the last say. The Roosters still get the last say in this game. 30 points to 6 inside the last minute. Can they get a consolation try? Get themselves off single digits. Cleary out the back. Here they go. Tedesco to Manu. Manu takes them on. He's caught by 4 Panthers defenders in the corner. Tackle 2, a metre out on the right-hand edge. Big space here to the left. Tedesco at first receiver. Tupanua. Double pump here. Out wide. Collins has got space. Back inside to Hutchinson. Cleary's got the ball from the tap back. 16 seconds to go. They've shut it down, though, the Panthers. 10 out from the line. 0 tackle. But only 8 seconds to go. Tupanua with the hit up, and this will be it. I dare say 3, 2, 1, 0. He doesn't even get to play the ball away, and that is it. Game, set, match. Panthers were just meticulous tonight. It didn't all go their way, but they have been absolutely clinical. The Penrith Panthers, 30 points to 6, but the big story to come out of this, Liam Martin. Liam Martin has failed his HIA. He is looking at a mandatory 11-day stand down. We are now 10th of June. State of Origin, of course, if we go back to this screen. State of Origin is 21st of June. 11-day mandatory stand down will be June 21st. Is Liam Martin going to be cleared to play? That's the big story. 11-day mandatory stand down. 11 days is June 21st. Does that mean he's free to play on the 21st? Or does the 11 days include the 11th day? Big story to come out of that 11-day mandatory stand down for Liam Martin. One of New South Wales' best players from Game 1, potentially out of Game 2. Just to add to the list, Api Coruscant out. Nathan Cleary out. Latrell Mitchell racing the clock. Cameron Murray out. Injury worries out the wazoo for the New South Wales Blues. And now Liam Martin also going to be racing the clock. I dare say that they will contest that call. They will contest that call for the Category 1. They'll contest the stand down, much in the same way that Manly contested the stand down of Tommy Turbo. And I don't know. I can only... I'm just making assumptions, basically, if I say any more. But I can only imagine that they will be contesting that, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what becomes of the contested call. And it all depends. It all depends. Does the 11-day stand down... Does the 11-day stand down include the 11th day? Or does that mean, like, on the 11th day, he's fine? Because it's 11 days away from Origin. So if it's a mandatory 11-day stand down and the 11th day is fine, doesn't matter. Liam Martin will still be available. So that will be interesting. If that comes down to it, they being New South Wales may contest it, and it may get overturned, just like Tommy Turbo got overturned for this weekend. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, Wasted World of Sports. I do have to go get myself ready for an Intoxigamer.com live stream coming up later tonight. So I won't do too much of a post show here in this one. I do thank you so much for your company in this one. As always, very much appreciated. I had this pegged as the match of the round. It turns out it was very one-sided. Where to now for the Roosters is what we need to seriously start asking ourselves. This is the period of time where we usually have the Roosters clicking into gear and getting themselves back into to get back into the conversations for premiership credentials and whatnot, but it's just not happening this year so far. There is still time, though, of course. We're only halfway through. It's a long season. I still have the Roosters finding it out at the back end. They'll still be there or thereabouts, I am sure. But time will tell. Time will tell. But this weekend has certainly asked some questions of a few teams. And the Panthers, I have to say, answered with the most authority. And I don't think that that's out of line to say. The Panthers definitely stepped up. The Panthers had the hardest match out of all the premiership favourites. The Roosters completely shat the bed. The Broncos completely shat the bed. And the Panthers stood up and put on a clinical performance to just really stamp their authority. Clear as day. Panthers first, Daylight second at the moment, in my opinion. Anyway, Wasted World of Sports, thank you so much. I've bollocksed on for about as much as I can. If you're into video games, Intoxigamer.com or YouTube.com/Intoxigamer. Coming up after a little bit of a break. Give me half an hour or so at least before I jump on and do anything over there. But yeah, do feel free to head over there. If you've enjoyed my company and would like to keep hanging out, that's where I'll be headed off to. Otherwise, yeah, let's touch base again, sports fans, tomorrow for the Melbourne Storm Cronulla Sharks game tomorrow afternoon around 4 o'clock, I think it is. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. Wasted World of Sports. Thank you so much, everyone. Catch you next time. Until then, cheers. His ass is hanging out as he makes a break upfield. Stepping back up. Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Cameron Munster's now putting his balls in Nick Bain's face.
I have no idea what the wasted world of sports is.